and welcome back to the Cult Cinema Circle podcast. My name is Jesse, and I'll be your host. So on today's episode, we're going to be covering what I watched in the month of June. So this was Pride Month. You know, we had to get rid of all the, rainbow capitalism and the rainbow washing and all the things. But now we're in July. All right, cool, great. It's fucking hot. So, please be safe out there and try to keep cool as best you can. But you know what you can keep cool with? Me, and you can listen to what I've watched, I guess. That's cool. But yeah, let's just go right into this. So I will say at the top, I think I did try doing the Horror Queers Pride Watch calendar. I was doing that a little bit, and then near the end of the month I did kind of fall off of that. I'm not gonna lie to you. So in this situation, you will notice that I was watching pretty consistently, and then I kind of just fell off of there, but I did watch some fun things though. So to start off the month, I did end up watching a opera that was day one of the Pride Watch calendar. So I decided to finally pull up on The Phantom of the Opera. I never watched this before, from 2004, the one with Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum and all those people. So this movie, if you don't know what it is, it's about a young soprano played by Emmy Rossum, and she becomes the obsession of a disfigured and murderous musical genius played by Gerard Butler, who lives beneath the Paris Opera House. And Minnie Driver, I think, is in this, and Patrick Wilson and all this. And I just said, did I follow this up by watching the Goosebumps episode of Phantom of the Auditorium? Yes, I absolutely did. Yeah, I did. Because I was just on a Goosebumps kick, kind of. So I was like, hell yeah. I should have also maybe watched Phantom of the Megaplex. I'm not going to lie to you, but I didn't feel like doing that today, but or that day, I guess. So, but there's that. But I did like this. I gave it a 3.5 and a heart. I mean, it's a long movie. It's at least over 2 hours. It's almost 2.5. But it was cool. I didn't dislike it or anything, but I don't think I would just run out to watch it again necessarily, but I did generally like the watch. It was perfectly good. And who knows, maybe I'd cover on the show maybe at some point. I feel like I've gotten that suggestion before, so who knows, maybe I'd do that. Next thing I watched was for day 2, which was Cat. So there are plenty of things you can choose from that are horror movies, but I decided to go back in the back, and from 1942, I watched Cat People. So I watched this, and if you don't know what this is about a Serbian, I guess she's an immigrant in Manhattan, who believes that because of an ancient curse, any physical intimacy she has with a man she loves will turn her into a feline predator. So this was a fun time. This is a Val Lewton movie. It wasn't directed by him, but it was produced by him. This is Jacques Tourneur, I believe, or Tourneur. But yeah, I liked this. It definitely, I can always get into an old movie here and there, and I always think it's just fun to kind of see what was considered scary or considered terrifying or whatever you want to say back in these days. And this is just a classic one, of course. This then got remade into the one with Malcolm McDowell in the 80s and stuff like that. And I don't remember the lady who was with him in the movie, but either way, but yeah, I ended up watching Cat People. It was a good time. I liked it. So yeah, go out there and watch it. I had this thing on my Roku. I think it was what was it? It was classic movies and TV shows or something, and you can watch them for free, which is nice. You can pay $5.99 or something. It's ad free, but I was watching it with ads, and yeah, they had Valley of the Dolls on there apparently, and they had some good little old movies. So you better be look into it and see if you're into your old movie game like I'm trying to be. It might be worth a look, if anything. Next thing I watched was for day 3, which was Head Trauma. And I decided to pull up on, there's a couple of ones you could have done with this, but I decided to pull up on from last year, Cuckoo. This is the movie with Hunter Schafer in it. So this is about Hunter Schafer, her character Gretchen. She moves to the Swiss Alps, or the German Alps, I guess, with her father and his new family. She discovers that this new town is having these weird weird, sinister secrets. She's plagued by these strange noises and these frightening visions of a woman who's pursuing her and like trying to pretty much kill her. But yeah, this one I gave it a 3 and a little heart. I didn't like dislike this movie or anything. But yeah, I mean, it was really beautiful to look at, of course. I mean, it was shot like, I'm pretty sure somewhere, somehow, like I think it was shot somewhere in Germany. It seems like it was, at least. I think they have some people in here who are of, German descent, which is kind of cool. I mean, and of course, I'm always into a Dan Stevens movie where he gets to be a little weird guy. Love that. But but I didn't dislike this. I wasn't like hugely in love with it, but I did like it, and it was cool to see. Obviously, like a trans lead, which was really great. But I just think ultimately, like, I wouldn't like revisit this anytime soon, to be perfectly honest. But in my opinion, it was perfectly fine for a watch. And I didn't dislike it or anything. I just, again, 3 out of 5. There you go. So, but yeah, for the next day though, I ended up watching, this was a little different, but okay. I decided to watch from 1987 a movie called Blood Lake. Now I've already mentioned that I do want to do Sleepy Slasher episode, and it's going to happen at some point. I don't know when, but it will. And this is a part of it, kind of, sort of. But this is for camping. That was the category of the day. And so there is camping going on in this. Like, it's them going to like this house for a party or whatever. So I consider it camping in a way. But anyway, so this is about 6 teenagers who are partying one weekend. But then this bloodthirsty killer is like stalking them and like killing them and all this. And this is like a shot on video type of movie, if you will. It takes place somewhere in the Midwest. I don't remember. Like, it was like Nebraska or Oklahoma or one of those places. You'll also find that some of these like sleepy slashers are also those types of movies that are shot on location. But yeah, I just said on my little quote thing, I just said, "What are you, a faggot or something?" Because literally that was a line from the movie. The 80s. One of the things, there were these two characters who were like these two guy friends. I think that they were like low-key kind of gay and sort of secret boyfriends, maybe. I don't know, maybe. I did appreciate some of the shorts going on here. This was from 87, so you still have some of that and some of the shirtless men. It doesn't really help the movie, though. I gave this a 1.5. I mean, I don't know about shot on video stuff for me, at least, or whatever, but it was an interesting little watch, and maybe, who knows, I may have more to say about it on the episode. Or I don't know. If anything, if you have Tubi, it's worth it. If you want a bad movie, like, it's kind of worth it in a way. I don't know. Or just like save yourself. I don't know. But this is what I do for all of you, everybody. Okay. Next thing I watched after this was for day 5. This was an A franchise, meaning it has to either start with A or it has A in it somewhere or whatever it is. And I decided to go with When a Stranger Calls from 1979. So this movie is very well known for having one Miss Carol Kane in it. It was Fred Walton who did April Fool's Day and a couple other movies as well. This is about a babysitter played by Carol Kane. She has her evening disrupted when the phone rings and all of this. And then there's more stuff that happens after that. But yeah, this movie, I mean, the beginning of this movie is honestly so good. And I mean, for those who may not know, it was actually based off of a short. It was pretty much like that was the beginning of the movie, was that short. And so, yeah, it was just really interesting though. And then this does turn into like a crime procedural movie at some point. But then when we get back to Carol Kane and we get back to her tea and what's going on with her, oh my God, it's so good. And I do think this is worth a watch, if anything, just for the Carol Kane stuff, because she is just like, I feel like if anything she's in, it immediately at least gives it like a 2.5 or a 3. Like, I feel like if it has Carol Kane, it can at least get a 3. That, like, something like that. Like, you're not going to put something below because I'm like, no, she's there. Like, we're good. I gave this a 3.5 and a little heart, like I said. So, if I didn't already say that. But anyway, yeah, go watch When a Stranger Calls. It's pretty good. I haven't seen the remake or anything like that, with Camila Bell. I don't really want to watch that. But, I do want to watch When a Stranger Calls back, though, because it also has Carol Kane in it, and it also has Jill Schoenlin in it. So that's just a recipe for iconic nature, of course. But anyway, the next thing I watched was for, I believe it was feature debut. So it has to be somebody's first movie pretty much. So I've been meaning to watch this, so I wanted to pull up on it. I decided to watch Woman of the Hour from 2023. This is from Anna Kendrick. That Anna Kendrick, yes, from Pitch Perfect. This is on Netflix, and this is about a young lady played by Miss Kendrick. She is an aspiring actress who crosses paths with this prolific serial killer, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, on an episode of The Dating Game from back in the 70s. And this is based not on a complete true story. However, it's not like this. She is playing a real person, Anna Kendrick is, but it's not like this is her actual life. But Richard Ramirez was an actual person. Obviously, this lady that she's playing is a real person. But it's just exaggerated, if anything. It's just, played up a little bit. But it's still really fucking crazy and weird. But yeah, it's like Daniel Zavato, who plays Rodney, who ends up being the killer. He's from It Follows and stuff, which is cool. And, Tony Hale plays the host, I believe, of the dating game. A couple different people who are in here, and a lot of them did a really good job. Peter Gallagher's daughter's in this. She's one of his victims, unfortunately. But yeah, she was great. And yeah, no, this movie, I gave it a little 4, and I really liked it. I don't know if I gave it a heart. Did I? I did. I think I liked this. It was an interesting time. It's a little more true crimey than anything else, but I also think a big part of this was Anna Kendrick. I thought she did such a good job with this material, directing it, but also I think she was great in it as an actor. It was an interesting time, and I did enjoy it. I didn't dislike this movie by any means. And I would watch something from her again, because some of the tension in this movie I just thought was really well done, and I really just I liked it. She knows how to do this. She's a goddamn actress. She knows how to make those beats work and how to do that. And just having her behind the camera, I think was really, really, it was just good. If anything, if this is her feature debut, I'm just oh no, I want to see her do some other things. And to be honest, let her do some horror stuff too. This had some tension in there, and girl, give it to me. I'm down for it. The next thing I watched was actually a rewatch, I guess. This is for day 7 of Mullet, okay? And I decided to go back to a tried and true, one and only Chopping Mall from 1986. If you don't know what Chopping Mall is, it's about these teens who work at the mall. Some of them work at the mall. And they all get together for this late night party in one of the stores. And pretty much the mall goes on lockdown. There are these robots, these security robots that are pretty much new to this place. And they end up turning into killbots. This was a Jim Wynorski movie. It comes in at 77 minutes. Haven't done an episode on it yet. At some point, probably will. Who knows? I'll get around to it. But this is, of course, just it has Barbara Crampton in it. It has Kelly Maroney in it. It's got, who the hell else is the guy? It got some other people in it. It's got Tony O'Dell. Yeah, Russell Todd from Friday the 13th Part 2. Iconic, of course. Susie Slater, of course. She gets her head blown up in this. Dick Miller, of course, Dick Miller. And also Paul Bartel and Mary Woronov, of course, from Meeting Raoul. So, yeah, good times. It was, if anything, 3 and a little heart. This is a great little movie. It's not the best film in the world, but I think if we're just a stupid 80s movie, a little 80s horror movie, I'm down for it. I don't dislike this movie by any means. So, there's that. Next thing I watched was for, I think it was Pop say some music pretty much. And so this I decided to pull up from last year, and because it was on Max, I decided to watch Trap, the most, I don't know if it's the most recent, but it's one of the more recent M. Night Shyamalan movies. I haven't watched all of his movies really, but I decided to watch this one. This is about a father played by Zaddy himself, Josh Hartnett, and his daughter, his teen daughter, who's Australian, but in real life, by the way, Ariel Donahue. But they go to a pop concert where I believe it is Lady Raven is the name, but this is Salika Night Shyamalan, who is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. Alison Pill, good old Alison Pill from Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, and also don't forget about her, and then I always get her and the girl from Sleepover mixed up, but they are two different people. But I always think that it's her, but she's Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, and she's also in Scott Pilgrim as well. But anyway, either way, she was iconic. I loved seeing her as well. Always a good time. Hayley Mills is in this movie. It's a whole fucking thing. Anyway, but yes, I watched this and I just said girly pop with dad joke sensibilities. I kind of respect it, honestly. And truly, we as a country, we are so divided and nowadays, but we really do deserve more daddy Josh Hartnett. I mean, to be perfectly honest, and goddamn, did he look great in this movie. I mean, for me, I gave this a 3.5 and a little heart. I ended up liking it a little bit more than maybe some people did. Some people fucking hated this movie. I didn't completely hate it. You know what? If I was M. Night Shyamalan, listen, if I was M. Night Shyamalan and I had a little daughter like this, you know what? Fuck it. Give her a movie where she can go and be a pop star. I don't care. Like, I'm literally like, you know what? Let's do this, man. But there's people who hate this movie so much, and I can't bring myself to hate it. Like, I don't know. I'm not taking it like that seriously necessarily. And to be honest, I did just like seeing hot Josh Hartnett, and also like, it was just interesting to see this fucking movie just go off the rails a little bit. But it was a fine time. So yeah, if you want like a silly, stupid time, I would check it out personally. Again, if you're not a Shyamalan fan, don't check it out then. If you think you're going to hate it, but if you kind of know what he's going to fucking do, or if you kind of have seen some of the other movies, and I haven't even seen all of his movies by any means. I haven't watched Old. I've watched The Visit. I haven't seen a bunch of his movies, so it's not like I'm a connoisseur of his, but like, I don't know. I didn't dislike this one, at least. That's my opinion, at least. Then I watched, for the next film, I watched The Nightingale, was for day 9 of Kangaroo, okay? And, this is from 2018, it was on Shudder. This is Jennifer Kent's movie, this is from The Babadook Lady, okay? It was about an Irish convict who is pretty much in the, like, she's in a part of Australia, she's a convict, like I said. She is chasing this British soldier through this Tasmanian wilderness, because, I guess spoiler alert, but the British dude kills her husband and their baby, and so she goes on a revenge kick to do this. She also has this Aboriginal tracker dude who's like kind of a if you ever think of like a Native American like guide or whatever, if you think about that, like from Ravenous, for example, it's kind of like that. Like it's an Aboriginal who is like the native of the country or whatever, and they're used as these guides for these white people. Anyway, so this movie, for me, I gave it a 3. And I just said, Jesus Christ, the racism just slaps you right upside the head with this movie. And it does, in particular, which I think can be not great for some people who are watching it, of course. I can't say I dislike this movie, but for me, like, I just wish it was a little bit shorter, honestly. And not that I do like a revenge movie, don't get me wrong, like I do, but I also was just like, oh God, we could do a little something different with this, or I don't know, like, but I did like the girl in it. I did like the lady in it, Aisling Francicia or whatever her name is, who she's been in like Speak No Evil and like Last Voyage of the Demeter and stuff like that. Like she's been doing some other stuff, and this was earlier for her, but I don't know, like I'm not running out to go watch this again, really. And I don't mind a rape revenge movie, and this kind of is in that, but I don't know, I wasn't really all that taken with it at the end, honestly. I think there's honestly just kind of better movies out there. But if you want to watch it, if you want to take that undertaking, go ahead. That's fine with me, but I don't think I'm going to revisit this anytime soon. Similar with the movie next on here, is I watched Bone Tomahawk. I don't exactly remember what the category was, to be honest, that I was doing this for, but I was watching it. I think it was foot amputation, if I'm not mistaken. But I watched Bone Tomahawk from 2015. This is a movie by S. Craig Zahler. And so this is a movie that it's a Western pretty much. It's like a neo-Western, I guess. It has Kurt Russell in it, Patrick Wilson, Richard Jenkins is there. He stops by for a cup of coffee, so maybe more than a cup of coffee, but still. But yeah, this movie, I didn't really have much to say on it. It's about these men. It's this shootout in a saloon. Sheriff Hunt, I think is, I believe he's Kurt Russell. He is. He injures this guy, the doctor's assistant, the wife of the local foreman. They tend to him in prison, and then these cannibals pretty much like come about and like, you know, fuck up everyone's day. This is also a story of cannibalism. And I just didn't, this is on Netflix. I ended up watching it. And, you know, for me, like I said, again, it's a little long. Again, people are going to be like, Jesse, you whiny baby. Like, you need to watch long movies. I'm like, I know. But for me, like, this felt like a Quentin Tarantino movie in a way, just not as many feet. Although there was a little bit of foot amputation. There was like a leg amputation or something like that. But either way, like, this still felt like that a little bit, but also like maybe not as interesting perhaps, like, because at least with Quentin Tarantino some of his movies are interesting. I don't think I would, again, I'm not really like running out to watch this again. The gore is really pretty cool in it. Like, I'm down with that. But it just, I don't know. I just wasn't really taken with it at some point, and I kind of couldn't really care after a while. It was a slog to get through near the end, especially, but the end is pretty good. Like, I didn't mind that, but just the rest of it, I was like, ugh, what are we doing? God. Anyway. So next movie after this was actually also on, I was going to try and watch Batman and Robin, I think, but I didn't end up watching that. I'm so sorry, but I just was like, and it's not even like anything against it. I literally was like, I wanted kind of to, but I was tired and I didn't feel like fucking watching it. So I didn't. Anyway, either way, what I actually watched was, from earlier this year, it's on Netflix. It is Hard Eyes, and Hard Eyes is from Josh Rubin. He's the guy who did Werewolves Within. He also did Scare Me from a couple of years ago. But this is about the Hard Eyes killer, which is attacking Seattle, and these co-workers, one played by Mason Gooding and the other one played by Olivia Holt from Disney Channel. These young people, they are mistaken for a couple on Valentine's Day, and this killer who's killing couples, they're now spending the night pretty much running for their lives. Jordana Brewster's in this movie, so that's fun. I like that. And also Devon Sawa is also here too, which is lovely. I think this is for holiday horror, if I'm not mistaken. And I did want to check this out because I had heard kind of good things about it. And I will say that ultimately this movie, I gave it a 3.5 on a little heart. I do think, like, yes, it is bloody. There is definitely blood here. Okay. But I didn't dislike this movie. I liked the comedy in it. I thought, that was kind of fun. It does feel very predictable at some point where I'm just like, okay, what's even happening here? But like, by the end of it, like, okay, like we find out who the killer is and all that stuff, which is all fine and well. But there is some good gore in here. I didn't dislike that. And, I would check it out if you just are a horror fan, you want to watch another Valentine movie. We only get so many of those. We get Valentine, My Bloody Valentine, both the original and the remake, and then we also have this. So I'll take it, but I would watch this again for sure. I think it's a fun, interesting time. It's got some gore in it. Like, that's always fun and well. The next thing I watched was, I don't remember what it was for exactly. I don't remember the category of it, but for whatever reason, I guess I decided to choose this movie, Jason X. It always comes back to Jason X for me. I don't remember exactly what the category I was going for was, but it was something. And I just said we just need more midriffs in STEM, honestly, because we truly do. If you don't know what Jason X is, Jason's up in fucking space, babe. bitch. That Jason Voorhees is up in space. That's it. Iconic. Like I've talked about this before. This is a rewatch for me. I do not own this movie, although I should. I really should. I should get on that. I need to go and open my little purse and go get that. But yeah, no, this movie is like a weird comfort for me in a way. Like I just like it. And it's one of my favorite Friday the 13th movies, personally. I don't know, whatever. But the next thing I watched, this is a good time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So this I watched, I think it was for bangs. I think that's what it was, because these are iconic bangs. I watched Crimes of Passion from 1984 with Ken Russell. That's his director. I loved this movie. I gave it a 4 and like a little heart. This is a Kathleen Turner movie. She plays Joanna Crane, and she is China Blue, who's a prostitute who's attracted to the attention, or she has attracted the attention of this private detective, who is, I think, played by what's his name? What is it? It's John Laughlin, right? I think. Yeah, that's him. Him coming around, and then then this other dude, like the psychotic priest, played by Anthony Perkins, and some shit goes down, bro. Some shit goes down. This movie was so great. First off, love China Blue's bangs. Love it. It's like this blonde wig. She's iconic. I love her. And I also love Kathleen Turner. So I'd heard about this movie because my buddy Brandon, Zombie Brando Designs, go follow him. He had talked about it when I was on Release Date Rewind with him for Serial Mom. And he told me and Mark to actually watch Crimes of Passion. So I've always had it on my brain. I was like, it's on my Canopy list. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it at some point. I finally got around to this, and I'm so glad I did. I really loved this movie. It was just so good. I ate this shit up so well. Oh, it was just, I don't know. Like, if you're at all a Kathleen Turner fan, I would check it out. If you like weird, pretty colors and a weird fucking story, you'd like it. I love the way this movie ends. I'm not going to spoil it, but just the way that this movie ends, it's so funny. So yeah, get into Crimes of Passion, please. You do yourself a favor. I would really recommend it. Next thing I watched was for rock. Okay, more music. That was the category, and I watched this on my birthday, actually. But I decided to watch a tried and true. At some point, I will end up doing it on the show because I have done the first movie. I watched Slumber Party Massacre 2. This is a 3.5 on a little heart, like I said. This is about Courtney, who's the little sister from the first movie. She is a couple years now later, and she's tormented by these dreams of this driller killer who's returning to wreak havoc. Only this time, he is now an evil rocker with a drill for a guitar. And for me, like, I liked this. The 80s were a weird time, man, where I'm supposed to believe that these beautiful ladies are somehow teenagers. That's a whole thing. But I didn't dislike this. I will say Pickens did message me when he saw this, and he was just like, how dare you give a movie that is obviously 5 stars this 3.5 star treatment? How dare you, Jesse? And I was just like, okay, Pickens, whatever, it's fine. But I do like this movie, though. Like, it's not like a good movie, but it's honestly like kind of a good bad movie, if anything. And the songs are kind of fun too. I love I don't remember what it's called exactly, but the one where they're like in the garage doing it. Oh, it's so awesome. And also the killer in this is hot as hell. I know he's the son of the guy who founded Little Caesars and stuff, but like, he is very hot in this movie. And yeah, it was a good little time. I didn't dislike my watch of this, to be honest. So yeah. Next thing I watched, though, was the next thing, which was Dog. All right, that was the category. And this I decided to watch. It was from 2019 from my boy Alexander Aja. If you don't know, he did like Piranha 3D. He did High Tension, I believe. The Hills Have Eyes, which you will hear more. Well, not the actual 2006 movie, but the original movie from the 70s. But I am covering The Hills Have Eyes from the 70s this month. But he also directed the one from the 2000s that I saw in theaters. I'll probably get around to watching that at some point anyway. I watched Crawl, actually, from 2019, okay? This is a killer crocodile movie. This is about a big hurricane hits this hometown of this lady in Florida, Haley. Okay. She ignores these evacuation orders to go look for her daddy. And after finding him badly wounded, they are both trapped in this flood pretty much. And there's pretty much no way for them to escape the storm. And a fucking killer croc comes to try to kick their ass pretty much. And for me, also the girl who plays Maud in Saint Maud is also in this movie. She plays her sister, which you only see through like telephone, which is interesting. But this, I liked it. I gave it a 4 and a little heart. This movie has a lot of tension throughout it. And I think just like the environment they had, I mean, obviously there wasn't a real hurricane going on, obviously, but just what they had to do with this, it was just so cool. And, I just said, like, this is just another reason I'd never moved to Florida. This is another reason why I'm not going anywhere near there to live. Like, I'll go visit. I have family in Florida. I love all y'all, if any of y'all are listening, but I'm just saying I'm not moving there. I'm not living there because, girl, a big crocodile could come to my house, bitch, and just kill me. Like, I don't want that. Like, we're not doing that. But Crawl was a good time. I did like it. I think it's on Shudder this month, so please go watch it if you're at all into killer crocodiles like I am. And, have yourself a time. It was a pretty good time. I liked it. Next thing I watched was I don't remember exactly. I think the category was Death by Car, which does happen in this movie. I decided to watch Joyride from 2001. I don't remember this movie at all from back in the day. But this is about 3 young people, one who's played by Paul Walker. Oh, he's so hot in this movie. One played by Steve Zahn and one played by Lily Sobieski. And they're these 3 young people. They're going from Colorado, I believe, to New Jersey. They, the 2 guys talk to a trucker on their CB radio, played by Ted Levine's voice. And they kind of catfish him in a way, making him think that they're a woman pretty much, and they're not. He decides to take matters into his own hands and give them some, what's the word? Taste of their own medicine, I guess. But yeah, so this movie, I liked it. It was a 3.5 and a little heart for me. I just said, Christ almighty, Paul Walker was so goddamn handsome. And he was in this, in Pleasantville, even in Tammy the T-Rex. Like, oh, he's just hot as hell. Rest in power, my dude. Oh God. But anyway, there's also a fun butt scene in this for the girls who know, and for the gays who know. But yeah, I didn't dislike this. I did end up enjoying this. I would probably not watch the sequels because they look bad. But if anything, watch this one, get into the vibes. I was kind of into it, so I'm down with all that. But yeah, that's what I ended up watching, and it was a good time. Then I went out to the theater. Okay. I didn't realize, I'm an idiot. At the time when I was going to go see a movie, because I work right near a movie theater. Okay. And so I was like, okay, let me go and do a movie after work or something. I did that with Sinners. I went right after work or something, or I decided to do that. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll do another one. Didn't realize it was Tuesday, so I got the $10 Tuesdays, okay? I went to an AMC. And so I was able to watch, because I wanted to finally do it, I watched Final Destination Bloodlines. I finally got out to the theater and watched it. I was so excited. Yay. But anyway, I ended up watching this. And I saw this. If you don't know what this movie is, this is the 6th installment of the Final Destination movies. This is about a college student played by, or Stephanie. I don't remember who she's played by, but she heads home to try to track down this person who may be able to break the cycle and save her family from these grisly demises that definitely await them all. This is from the same people who brought you Kim Possible, the live action movie. But I liked this. I gave it a 3.5 and a little heart. I said I may or may not have laughed out loud in the theater when the piano, spoiler, fell on that little asshole in the beginning. Okay, listen, the beginning of this is a premonition and whatever, spoiler alert, I guess. But I mean, you also knew something was going to happen, obviously. So I won't go into more than that. But yeah, I did laugh. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I absolutely did. And there were some funny parts in this movie. I will say that there were some hee-hee ha-has. So And it was iconic to see Tony Todd in this, in his like pretty much last role almost, really. And I love that man so much. And I thought this was a fitting departure for him. And I ended up enjoying myself for the most part. Again, I think there are worse Final Destination movies out there, which is good. And if anything, I thought this was a very solid entry because this could have been bullshit. But I think that this did earn like something where it was like, okay, no, this was actually a pretty good movie. So there's that. And then I watched a little movie from, 2017, I believe. I don't remember what this was for. This is where it starts losing me, okay? But I watched a little movie called Ghost Stories. I think it was paranormal or supernatural or something. And this is about a guy by the name of Philip Goodman. He's a professor. He's devoted his life to try to expose these like kind of phony psychics, fraudulent like supernatural shenanigans. And pretty much he is, he's kind of put to the test when it comes to these different cases. One is about an abandoned asylum, another one's about a car accident deep in the woods, and another one is about the spirit of an unborn child. All of these stories kind of come together. And I ended up not really liking this a whole lot. I gave it a 2.5. This was on Shudder, and I did have it on my list. Cause I think someone told me to watch it, or they had watched it and whatever. Anyway, but I ended up just not really liking it a ton. I'm not gonna lie. I personally wouldn't even tell you to watch it, really. It's an anthology kind of, but I just didn't really like it a whole lot. I just thought it was kind of meh. But that's just my opinion, I guess. But but that's why I watched Ghost Stories. That's what I did. Then I will say the next thing I watched was another thing I didn't really like a whole lot. And that was All Cheerleaders Die this was 2 directors. So that was the prompt. This is Lucky McKee from May and The Woods and stuff like that. And then Chris Sivinston, I believe. This is about these cheerleaders. So there's this rebellious cheerleader played by, she's Maddie Killigan. Killian. She is played by the girl from the beginning of Smile, the one who's smiling, I guess. I'm not going to give it away, I guess. But there's her. You then have like that guy from like Power of the Dog and like Let Me In. His sister is in this movie, Sanoa Smith-McPhee, because Cody Smith-McPhee is the other kid. He was nominated for an Oscar. But anyway, there's a lot of this is pretty much about these like cheerleaders. One of them dies, and then there's this confrontation with the football team. These new cheerleader friends are like put into this situation where they get in a car accident and then they get brought back to life by witchy activities. And personally, I just didn't care for it a whole lot. I was kind of bored through it. And I just also think it's supposed to kind of be funny, I guess, but I don't think it really is. And I think Lucky McKee he has done better, like, in my opinion. And this one just didn't really feel all that good to me. So I would probably skip this one. I ended up using my Hoopla for this, and I didn't care for it a whole lot. I'm not going to lie. Then you also find that I had a bit of I didn't really follow any of the horror queer prompts after this, honestly, but it is what it is in that situation. But you're hearing this probably on the 2nd or the 1st. I think it's the 1st of July, or maybe the 2nd. I don't know. I might put it out tomorrow, but either way, you're hearing this the same time where I have a Freaky Friday episode coming out. So you will notice I watched Freaky Friday a bunch. So I started with the first one from this 1978 with Barbara Harris and Jodie Foster. It's about this girl, Annabelle, who is hassled by her mother, Mrs. Andrews, Ellen, I think her name is. This one Friday morning, I don't know if it's Friday the 13th or not, but either way, they end up switching bodies. Oh no, isn't that hilarious? Whatever. So this movie, I didn't dislike it or anything. It's on Disney Plus, so I did generally like this movie. I thought it was a fun time. It was very wacky near the end, but what's to expect for like a 70s Disney movie, pretty much. But I would watch this one for sure again. I didn't dislike my watch of it or anything. Same with that, though. I ended up watching Freaky Friday from 1995. I had to go on a hunt for this one because this is the one with Shelley Long and Gabby Hoffman in it, and it was from The Wonderful World of Disney from ABC, I believe. Although it was kind of on, I think it reran on Disney Channel, I believe, because I think this was literally like the cut I watched, which was on YouTube. I think it was literally the one that was reran on Disney Channel, if I'm not mistaken. And it was talking about how, like, coming soon, we have Under Wraps premiering or whatever. And that's like the first like Disney Channel original movie or whatever the hell. So we're talking that kind of thing, okay, around that time. But this is from 95. And this is Melanie Mayron. She directed this. She is the same lady who did The Babysitter's Club. And so, yeah, this is pretty much about, again, Annabelle, played by Gabby Hoffman. You have Ellen, the mom, played by Shelley Long. You have some other fun characters. You have like Sandra Bernhard, and then you got like baby like Marla Sokoloff and Natanya Ross and Andrew Keegan. It was a good little time. Like, I gave this a 3. I liked it enough. I thought they did a good job with what they were doing, so that was cool. I'm going to also then go into I did watch the Freaky Friday from 2018. This is also about a mother and daughter who, you know, switch or whatever. This is the one that's a musical because there was a musical version of this. Okay. It didn't go to Broadway or anything, but it was like in the West Coast, I believe. And so this is what this is kind of based off of. And yeah, so this movie, you know, what do I say about it? It has Eli from Boy Meets World, Alexander Dessert, which is cool. And the girl in this, who plays the main lead, she wrote a couple of the songs of High School Musical, the musical, the series. She was one of those people who wrote some of those, which is cool. For me, at least, I didn't love it. I gave it a 2.5. I didn't like super dislike this because you also have to kind of go into it being like, okay, well, this is a Freaky Friday movie that is not made for me in mind at all. But in that situation, I mean, I didn't like super dislike it necessarily. It wasn't like I super hated it, but honestly, I mean, I could take and leave some of it, like, honestly, but the songs were good. I mean, the ladies they got to do this, like, you know, they could sing, wasn't bad at all, but definitely, I mean, something to be desired. I just gave it a shrug, honestly. And then I ended up watching Freaky Friday from 2003, tried and true, Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan. Not much more to say about that. This is Anna and Tess. We then also have Freakier Friday coming out next month, which I will be sat for. That'll be fun. But yeah, so, you know, iconic, amazing. And then you're also hearing about that very soon, if not either the same day or the whatever. I don't know, just around the time. But yeah, that's Freaky Friday for you. So that's what I ended up watching. Going back a little bit, I did end up also watching, because it was Pride Month and everything, I ended up watching Paris is Burning from Jenny Livingston. This, for those who may not know, is a documentary from 1990, and this is about the ballroom scene in New York City at the time. So this came out in 1990, but it definitely is late 80s is when they're doing all of this. And so you have different people like Willie Ninja, you have Pepper LaBeija, Dorian Corey, Venus Extravaganza, who actually, for the Netflix girlies, there is, if you've seen Paris is Burning, you will also know that I'm Your Venus, which is a documentary about Venus Extravaganza, is also out right now, apparently, or is it coming out or something? I don't remember. But either way, I'm going to go check that out at some point, so maybe I will. But yeah, this is following all of them around pretty much, and this movie fucking rocks. It's hard for me to say like why it rocks, in my opinion. I've seen it before, but you know, for me, I just think it just feels like it is a wonderful kind of example of just how to do a documentary where you're kind of just a fly on the wall, and you know, you're watching these different people and their experiences and all this. I think that there's some queer joy, queer camaraderie, you know, just all the things in this. Like, there is just like this community of people that are just so interesting to watch, and I think that's what's really cool about this movie. I did also, because it was on Criterion Criterion Channel, I did watch some of the kind of outtakes of it, and I kind of liked those too. It was really interesting to see what they couldn't keep in the film or what they didn't keep, and I thought that was really good. And my little quote from it is the one and only Dorian Corey, who says, "If you shoot an arrow and it goes real high, hooray for you." And I love that. I just love that monologue at the end that she has. It's not even like a monologue, really. It's just like kind of her musings, if anything. And I don't know. It's interesting to hear. And this movie just fucking rocks, bro. Like, I really need to. I know it's the 50% off sale. Maybe I need to pick up Paris is Burning, honestly. I probably should. Maybe I will. I think I might, actually. Anyway, so whatever. We got 2 more things going on. Another documentary I ended up watching. It's actually new. It just came out on HBO. And I watched My Mom Jane. This is from Mariska Hargitay. It's about these, it's about Mariska Hargitay, kind of, sort of, not really. It's just her directing it. So this in particular was, it's her, Mariska, interviewing her siblings, the Hargitays, and kind of an examination of these different photos, letters, and belongings that were left behind. Mariska is pretty much kind of building this new portrait of her mom, Jane Mansfield, who, you know, was a very well-known, it's between her and Marilyn Monroe, you know what I mean? A famous lady, you know, famous blonde lady playing the dumb blonde, if you will, or whatever. But it was just interesting to watch this movie. You find out some secrets, okay? I mean, I'm not telling anything too out of school, but, like, you know, you find out some secrets that were kept hidden a little bit, having to do with Mariska, and you find out just more information about, like, what happened with her mom, what her mom was like, all this kind of fun stuff. And I think it ends really beautifully. I also just like how it's not just like isn't my mom so cool, everybody? It's not that kind of a thing. Like, I think Mariska has also had like a weird time or a conflicting time, confused time. Not currently, but I think as she's grown up, because she died when her mom was really, you know, she was young when her mom died. And so she hadn't got to know her like that, like maybe some of her other siblings did. But, you know, I think if anything, she has had to kind of reckon with the idea of being, you know, put with Jane Mansfield, like you're Jane Mansfield's daughter, you're Jane Mansfield's daughter. And she's had to kind of live with that when it's like, well, what does that even mean? Like, I am her daughter, but I didn't know her like that. So it's having to build what I can from it and all this. I don't know. It's really interesting. And I think if anything, if you're a Jane Mansfield fan, or if you're a Mariska Hargitay fan, I guess, or whatever, or you're an old Hollywood fan kind of, and you get into this sort of a thing, it's just interesting to see. And I thought it was a good time. I liked it. So there's that. And then the final thing that I ended up watching, because why the hell not? It was going on and my sister and I decided to go to it. We watched Clueless from 1995. It was a Fathom event, so it was a little bit further up north where we live. But we ended up going up there to this little like theater. And I mean, Clueless, man. It's about Cher. It's about Josh, you know, Ty, all the people. Girl, you know what Clueless is about. Like, come on now. It's Emma, but set in 90s era Los Angeles. You know, it's Amy Heckerling movie, which you'll hear more about an Amy Heckerling movie this month, I believe. So that'll be a fun time. But yeah, I mean, it was just nice getting to finally see this on the big screen. I know that the Fathom events, the girlies sometimes don't like them. I had never been to one before. I don't really know if I'm going back to one. I don't really know about that. But either way, I didn't dislike my watch of this. It was nice to be able to see it in the theater. It was cute. And yeah, that was pretty much that. But that's how I closed out the month, though. I will also say, in terms of television shows, I did kind of fall off of doing Mad Men, which is unfortunate. But I will get back on there at some point. Mad Men's always there, baby. It's always there. But I did also begin to watch My So-Called Life for some reason. I've just wanted to kind of watch that, I guess, and just get into that. So that's part of what I've watched. I watched the first 3 episodes, so I want to keep doing that. And also, I think I started watching a little more of Schitt's Creek. I've watched that show before, but I kind of want to rewatch it again. So we'll see how that goes as well. Again, TV for me, it kind of depends, but like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's tough sometimes to to, actually get around to watching that stuff, because I'm always just, sometimes it's just watching movies. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking at my Letterboxd diary right now, and apparently in my diary it says I've watched 1,172 things. That's overall, that's crazy. Anyway, well, I do have a movie podcast, so that makes enough sense. Anyway, but with all that said, though, I think that brings a close to what I watched in the month of June. Okay, so I'll probably end up watching, probably Sinners again, because I'm an idiot. I think I said this, but I missed part of the end of Sinners. Not the end where it's in 1992 or whatever. So I'll end up watching that again. Oh darn, I have another reason to watch it. But there's that. But there are some other things I kind of want to see. I do kind of want to see the what is it? I want to watch the dumb I Know What You Did Last Summer remake. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll probably go see that on a Tuesday where I can have it be cheap kind of. So that's cool. But yeah, I want to see what else there is and see what other movies I can watch or whatever. But if you have any recommendations for me, what were you watching in June? You watching anything fun? What should I watch for July? You have any sort of things? I mean, of course, I'm a little bit when it comes to recording. I'm going to be, I didn't really plan a ton, so I know what I'm doing, but I'm going to be recording week to week, I'm sure. So that'll be super fun for me. But I do have some stuff figured out this month. I do have a roster of what we're doing, so you'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, I think that. But what else should I watch though, everybody? Let me know. Follow me on social, Cult Cinema Circle on Instagram and Blue Sky. Send me a professional email at cultcinemacircle@gmail.com. Follow the show on whatever podcatcher you use. Give me 5 stars and a 1 to 2 sentence review, whatever. People can see the movie or see the show, I guess, and hear me talk about movies. And yeah, but yeah, tell me what you're going to be watching in July. What should I watch in July? I don't know. Do what you want. But with all that being said, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the Cult Cinema Circle podcast, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Take care. Bye.